Good morning, Meshach. It's Wednesday, February 17th.
Today I'm going to discuss the political situation in Nepal while eating 5 sheets of toilet paper.
It's 5, Meshach, not 1. If you're going to punish me, do it right. So, our story begins in April 2008, only 7 months after the last person to discuss the political situation in Nepal whilst eating 5 sheets of toilet paper did so. It turns out the elections the Nepalese government decided they didn't want to have ended up happening anyways, and the former Maoist rebels won the largest block of seats in the newly democratic parliament. They failed to get an outright majority, but nevertheless, only 1 month later and after 240 years of being a monarchy, Nepal became a republic. Heck yeah for democracy, woo! Except for all the parts where democracy is really hard, and as it turns out, Nepal was not super equipped to handle the problems that arise with democracy. For example, fast forward to the future and Nepal is in serious political turmoil. The constitution is being tested only 5 years after its conception, because Prime Minister Olai and member of the same party, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, are both kind of doing the not democracy thing again. Prime Minister Olai randomly dissolved the 275-member parliament, citing they're trying to run a parallel government, even though that wasn't really happening. It's kind of like if you were suspicious that someone was stealing your eraser in class, so you hit them with an uppercut that sent them straight into orbit. While Prachanda, I know him like that, is leading anti-government protests and rallies in hopes that he will be officially recognized by the elections board as the official leader of the Nepal Communist Party. None of this really makes any sense though, until you realize that Olai and Prachanda have been political rivals for years, even though they're in the same party. Yeah, well, it turns out that they're only in the same party because their parties merged in 2017 in order to create one ruling party. At which point they agreed to hand off power to each other every 2.5 years. Woo democracy? But Olai, in a notably dick move, didn't respect that agreement because, as it turns out, he never liked Prachanda anyways. He was an outspoken critic of the Maoist insurgencies that Prachanda had led for nearly a decade, and was essentially using Prachanda's political influence to guarantee absolute power for himself in the future. Now, Olai is accountable to no one except for the president, who is his pal. And there are serious constitutional concerns that are threatening systematic collapse. Meanwhile, China's butting its head into the whole situation. Thanks, China! The good news is that the military has declared it will be neutral through this whole situation. The bad news is pretty much everything else. And just like that, I'm 5 sheets of toilet paper more of a man, and you are informed on the political situation in Nepal. Meshach, I'll see you tomorrow.